Alright, now we're making a video on my hints on Grand Theft Auto 5 for the PS4. It really doesn't matter if it's online or offline. I have a bunch of helpful hints because I'm a very big YouTuber and gamer too. So, without further ado, my gaming and my YouTube stuff. I'm a very great gamer, maybe even a better gamer than I am a YouTuber, but I'm a very decent, well-known YouTuber. I'm also a great gamer and YouTuber. So, a couple hints I would suggest to you as a gamer on Grand Theft Auto 5 offline. For offline hints, offline, because I'm a YouTuber and a gamer. I'm a very good YouTubing gamer. I've beaten many people in Grand Theft Auto. So, as a YouTuber and a gamer, and as someone who has a lot of good hints on how to be the best gamer, okay, well, we'll start with your fighting skills. There's ways if there's a bunch of enemies that are tougher than you and have more upgrades, there's ways you can get past that. Especially if you're a decent player, you can choose to run into them and beat all of them up with no weapons, which is really stupid. Or you can choose to knock a couple out, kill them, shoot a couple of them. A little smarter if you go in with weapons rather than just your fists. It's a little smarter to go head on. But if I would recommend anyone, you fight your enemies with weapons like a knife. It doesn't even have to be a gun. A knife, your fists, knuckle dusters, and an occasional pistol. That'll help you steal the win for online gaming for Grand Theft Auto 5. If you use your hands, not just your fists, but your knife, your knuckle duster, your hands, your guns. Use all that, and you'll have a good time winning the game. That is, if you have the guns and stuff. But if you're a good enough gamer, within a quarter of the way of the story, you should have a knife on you. So, like I said, if you're a gamer, sure, your fists and your attacks are deadly, but you get an ability to dodge attacks in the game. Once you have that, you will have a better opportunity of winning fights. When you fight with your hands, your knife, your guns, that's how you usually beat it. You gotta hit a little with your hands, not that much with hand-to-hand combat, unless it's one-on-one. Then if it's one-on-one or one-on-two, you can do it, but I wouldn't recommend it, because if they have a gun on them... Now, if with a knife you can fight 1 to 2 players if they're not too armed. Same with the fist. 1 to 2 fighting people. Well, with a knife you can fight free. 1 or 2 for fist. Knife is 3 or 4 if they're not armed, and a gun is for armed mercenaries. Now, headshots. I tell people in the Grand Theft Auto community, it's easier to take down an enemy if you shoot him in the head. I'm just being honest. Body shots are decent. Leg and arm shots, not a good look. If you're a good enough gamer, my recommendation: becoming a better Grand Theft Auto player. Don't shoot for the arms. Don't shoot for the legs. Don't shoot for any of that bullshit. Not the arms. Shoot for the body, and if you can, shoot for the head. Body, head. Body, head. Now, besides headshots and all that good stuff in the game, from the moment you start the game, you can stealth. It's an ability you have, so you can decide to charge into the enemies with hands and guns, or you can sneak behind them. It's a move that you're first given in the game, and it's basically you get the headshots. You can fight, but once in a while, it's good to know when you are forced to use stealth, because sometimes you can't win if you don't use stealth. So, my recommendation: stealth attack in the game. If you're going to sneak behind and take an enemy out one shot, your fists aren't the best option. Use a small pocket knife like in the game. Not a machete that's really seeable. A fucking knife. A kitchen knife. Because that is the best stealth takedown in the game. You sneak up behind them and you just come at them, stab them in the back of the neck. And that is a great way to start a fight off in the game. Headshots are good too, and if the government sees that you're beating a team and they come after you, like the police and stuff in the game, the army, what you do is if you have 1 star, I would recommend just driving out of their sight or running out of their sight. If you're on foot, run away, drive away, whatever you do, run away, make sure you stay out of the cops' radars. Because the cops in the game, in this new Grand Theft Auto game, have a thing where if you are in their radar, they can see you. Even if you're not standing in front of them, if you're in their radar, they can see you. So in the game, try to get away from their radar as far as possible. Whether it's running, driving, biking, it doesn't matter. Running, biking, driving. What you want to do is you want to get out of their radars and stay out of their sight long enough where they just forget about it. Because in the game, any crime you commit, they forget after a while if they don't find you. So they will forget about the crime. You can go back to doing what you're doing. If they pick you up again on radar, you got to get out of their radar and do it over and over. It's kind of a trick I use. If I want to rob a bank, after I'm done with that in the game, I drive away and then I come back to do other stuff. Now, when it comes to that, you got to stay out of their radar. You got to hide very well. And unless you need to run away from them because they see you, that's the only time I recommend. Like if you're 20 yards away from an officer and the game and they're looking for you, if you just hide behind a tree, they'll eventually forget about you unless they're coming your direction. Then if they're coming in your direction, you leave, all right? So those are my tips today about Grand Theft Auto gaming tips: headshots, stealth attacks, stealth attacks and headshots and good fighting skills. And I would also recommend, instead of using your fist mostly in the game, you can, but I would recommend using a knife or brass knuckles. Knife and brass knuckles. Because your fists aren't the best weapon in the game, really. Doesn't matter how tough your character is, your fists are probably the weakest weapon in the game besides knives and, that stuff. As good as your character is, you need something to back it up. Not just your fist in the game, despite how tough you are. You need something that can one-shot a criminal, like fucking brass knuckles. A knife. Yeah. So those are my tips, and all I'll say to y'all, keep subscribing, show your homie some love. Love Joseph Panetta's channel, who's a YouTuber and a gamer. And one of the reasons I'm such a good gamer is because I use my brain when I do games. That's why I'm such a good YouTuber and gamer. Because instead of just running into a fight stupidly, I plan it out very well. So I'm a great YouTuber and gamer.